Okay, hello, welcome everyone to Hitting Buckets, our golf podcast where we talk the latest stories and try our best to get some winners. I'm your co-host Scott Mater, and with me, as always, Ryan Marchand. Ryan, how you doing?
Doing good, Scott. We're all done the majors in this extended major season, but it was another fun one.
Yeah, and on that topic, we'll get right to it. Open recapped, and congratulations to Colin Morikawa, our 2021 Open champion. Great performance from him, start to finish. Kind of threw everyone off his scent with his terrible slash not great performance at the Scottish Open. But final thoughts on Morikawa's performance over at Royal St. George's?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, congrats to you. You had him on your card. I was I was lucky enough to be convinced by you to get a little piece of it, but to be honest, like you said, from the Scottish Open, and then hearing what he had to say afterwards, he said he couldn't really hit his irons. He was playing new irons, and he couldn't really figure out how to hit them off this different kind of I guess grass or field or whatever they got over there. And then all the metrics saying that a debutant can't win, and he's what really threw me off was I thought it'd be a lot more focus on putting, and I thought the weather would be more of a factor. So the wind would affect the strong part of his game, which is his irons. And going into the weekend, he was ranked 172nd, I think, in putting on the tour. So it's just one of those guys that if he has that hot putting week, I mean, no one can stop him because he's that good with his irons. So, I mean, big week for him, big win for him, and it kind of elevates him into a top five in the world kind of deal here.
Yeah, I agree. Like you did mention, I had him on my card. I brought him up, but it's not even one of those things that you take a lot of credit for. Like sometimes when you're just betting guys, I just had Morikawa valued as top five golfer in the world anywhere. So when his number gets into that mid 30s, just kind of like an auto bet, and sometimes that pays off. Similar how we got Brooks earlier in the year at 40. It's like sure his form was terrible, but sometimes you just get a great player at a great number and it works out. Because I honestly, I wasn't super confident in him, but I was super happy with the number. So that's kind of the theme, and I kind of learned a lesson off of it. Just good players with good numbers, like that's the kind of time where you throw the course history and you just play them, and then maybe surround the rest of your card with all the stats and the trends and stuff. Because you're right, all the trends pointed towards more of a veteran player, someone with experience at a open. Weather definitely helped, but honestly, I think Morikawa is kind of good enough that he can be a threat anywhere in any condition. His putter's on, and he's kind of always going to be in it. Okay, so other than Morikawa, stories of the tournament, I'm just going to list some names off the top of my head. Obviously, Louis Oosthuizen was around again, uh, third this time, but around all weekend. We had Jordan Spieth, very easily could have won this tournament. That bogey to end Saturday really killed him. And then the other guy who had a legit shot to win, I'd say, is John Rahm, the +1 opening round, and the fact that he just couldn't convert. Like he seemed to miss a lot of birdie chances, and he still finished a couple strokes off it with that +1 start. So obviously, John Rahm is always going to be a danger. Um, what do you think? So obviously, you probably agree those three names were close. A couple
Yeah.
other guys that you watched over the weekend.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, after the first round, I thought it was Spieth's tournament to lose. There's just something about him over there that he just jives and he plays well, and he looked really strong the first few days. So I thought I was regretting not having any Spieth love for sure. Um, like you said with Rom, he had that one bad day. Same, Brooks was making a charge, and same as DJ. And then Saturday just kind of derailed both of them. Um, if I mean, you take that +2 for Brooks and turn it into a -2, and he's right there on a Saturday. So he was he was awful concerned about getting his jabs in at Bryson on Friday night, but kind of came back to haunt them on Saturday, maybe. But I mean, it was like you said, it was all in all, it was a good tournament. Not the kind of British Open, or Open Championship, we were expecting to see. Usually it's more, the weather's usually way more of a factor. For some reason, the Howard Stern looking superintendent was watering the greens and stuff and watering the fairways. So you weren't getting the run out. Like I expected more of the those balls just dragging out and landing in those big, huge pot bunkers, and we're seeing bigger scores. But it is what it is. Next year at St. Andrews is going to be real fun to watch. So
Yeah. So like we said, open, our major season's done. Before we kind of recap the majors, I want to give a quick shout out to our Canadian content. We had Corey Connors was in the hunt, kind of faded a bit on the back nine on Sunday, finished top 20. And then Mackenzie Hughes, back to back majors for him, where he was, we got TV time. He was there, I think, top 10 for Mackenzie Hughes. So, I mean, really impressed with him. He seemed to have done nothing all year other than those two major tournaments. Connor is a
yeah.
little different. He's been playing great all year long. But yeah, so to recap the four majors, I saw Kyle Porter kind of throw the question out today, CBS, about ranking the majors this year. And before I do my rankings, I just want to say I enjoyed them all. So just because something came fourth doesn't mean I didn't think it was great. But I'll go first in case I put you on the spot there. But I'm going to rank the four majors. I think the further away we get from it, I don't think there's any topping Phil at 50 years old winning the PGA. So I have to give that number one. Number two for me was the US Open. That Sunday leaderboard when I think all the big names were within a stroke of each other about an hour and a half into their tee off. And Rahm's breakthrough victory, that's number two. Number three, I'm giving the Masters. I just love the Masters. Hideki's breakthrough, giving that. And then even though it's number four, I don't want to seem like I didn't enjoy the Open, but Morikawa, he got his major last year. This is a great tournament, but there was a little bit of the luster gone with the weather not being there and the conditions being so perfect. So it's my fourth out of the four. You have any disagreements with my rankings there of the four majors?
I think you got the fourth one right for sure. I think as far as the first one for me, I really enjoyed the U.S. Open. I just think that final round was just so intense in a sport that really isn't so intense. We had a leaderboard going down the stretch of like 10 of the top best players in the world. Ron makes those two amazing shots on 17 and 18 to win the tournament. Everything around his backstory, I'd have to give that number one. Like you said, though, in 20 years from now, the only one that everyone's going to remember is the PGA and Phil winning and, hitting that shot where the whole crowd just surrounds him like COVID didn't exist. So that'd be number two for me. And I guess on a much bigger world scale, I think the Masters win for Hideki will be probably recognized as one of the biggest wins, but that'll come in at three for me. But I think that being said, I think one of the most memorable images of all the majors was actually when his caddy did the bow on the 18th hole. So overall it was a good season. I didn't hit any well, I guess I got Morikawa here at the end, but stay tuned next year when I hit all four major winners.
Yeah, at least I pulled the Morikawa win. That was a nice pull at the end of major season. Okay, let's do it, Ryan. We're gonna preview and give kind of cards on two tournaments this week. We're gonna hit the LPGA up, their major tournament for them. But first, let's talk about the PGA Tour, the 3M Open.
Yeah, so we're in Minnesota here at TPC Twin Cities. So it's year 3 of the 3M Open. Going to be another birdie fest here. I think the winners the last 2 years carded 21 under and 19 under. So you're going to want to get some guys that aren't afraid of making birdies for sure. Some metrics that have proven necessary here: length off the tee, strokes gained approach, particularly with longer irons, as it's a fairly long par 71, and then putting. So fairways fairly wide. We're on bent grass greens that they rate out pretty easily. So you can catch a hot putter for sure. There's a lot of water on the course, so navigating yourself around that's going to prove to be pretty important here. Not a stellar field. Up at the top, you got 4 guys coming back over from the Open. So you got DJ, Finau, Louis, and Reed. Then it gets pretty wide open after that. So I think it'll be a true test to see if the stress and travel of a major tournament is going to affect those guys up at the top, and if not, who can sneak in and make a bunch of birdies and take this down. So I think we can get to the betting cards now. So what do you think, bud? Who do you like this week?
Okay, so I'm going to pull my card up here. So I'm trying a little something. I've always tried to stick to this plan, but I have it more outlined here. But before I go into these names quickly, I want to hit on that people coming over from the Open. I purposely kept all of them off the card. Don't like to travel. The Birdie Fest thing you mentioned, so it's similar to the last few weeks, other than the Open, the off-field event, Barbasol, and then the John Deere, Rocket Mortgage. So I'm looking at a lot of the same guys that have been playing well recently. So a lot of recent form picks here. But quickly go through the picks and explain what I'm doing here. 5 units. The unit can be in $10, $100, $1,000, but the point is that my rate of return is going to be at about 7 to 1 if I hit one of the guys on my card here. I want to make sure that they all paid out to about 7 times the total bet. So quickly, first guy on my list, Matthew Wolff, 34. The winner here, 2019. I'll say no more.
End of card.
I will leave the Matthew Wolff talk to you, but I'm playing him here. I feel like this could be where he officially bounces back. Bubba Watson, playing him. He's been good of late. He kind of fell apart there a couple weeks ago, but he was in the hunt. I like him as a mate. Like when he wins, he's won like 11 times on the PGA Tour. So 41, I'm playing him. Hank Lebioda, recent form. Just when you look at what he's done, he's top 10 last 3 starts. So Luke List, same thing, recent form, top 5 last 2 starts at these Birdie Fests. So I'm just taking names that I've seen play well recently at kind of shootouts. So Lebioda, List fit that bill. Jonathan Vegas, top 11, 3 of the last 5 starts. He came second at Palmetto. So at 67, like those odds. Again, it's kind of the theme of the card. No British Open guys playing well recently. That's where I'm going. And then some longer shots here at lower risk that still pay out the same. I got Chez Reavie 101, Adam Schenk 101, who cashed for me as an each way a couple weeks ago, and Cameron Champ, who 3 weeks ago I wouldn't have gone near, but he seemed to bounce back a bit recently. So why not at a 0.25 unit risk at 126 to 1 to round out the card. But that is my 3M Open card this week.
Yeah, that's some good picks there. I like that. All right. So for me, I'm starting up top with Patrick Reed at 21 to 1. I just find he's one of those guys that his game kind of plays everywhere. I think like we talked about it might be a challenge for these guys who just had the trip from England back over here, but I think he'll benefit the most from the missed cut. So he's got 2 less days of a grind than the other top guys who played all 4 of the rounds at Royal St. George's. So I like him here. My second pick is the guy who is going to win this week, Matthew Wolff at 34 to 1. So we're finally here. It's Matthew Wolff week. He took the week off the Open. He just didn't want to deal with all the stress and anxiety that COVID had brought to that tournament. So he's been practicing. He's ready to go. Coming into a tournament he won 2 years ago. He's feeling refreshed. So he followed up a win. He followed the win up with T12 again so he won 2 years ago, followed up T12 last year. He likes it here at TPC Twin Cities. I think it's a real good fit for him. I mean, what else can I say? He hits a far off the tee, strong long iron player, and a streaky putter. So I think he's in pretty decent form. He had the top 15 at the US Open. So I'm hoping that this is kind of the week that he and I have been waiting for. So third pick is another guy you're on too, Bubba Watson. So he's in the best form he's been in some time. He's got 6 top 20s in the last 4 months. Likes him on Birdie Fest. So well rested after the unexpected missing of the Open there last week, and he ranks first in birdie or better metric over the last 24 rounds, so he can pile up birdies here. And that's definitely one thing is like a guy like Louis who just plods along and he doesn't get a lot of birdies. He just doesn't get a lot of bogeys. So when it's a hard course, a guy like Louis can really play. But I don't think he's going to play here this week. He just doesn't get enough birdies. So I like Bubba over Louis in a matchup too. So fourth guy is going to be Keegan Bradley. He's fifth in this field in proximity from 175 to 200. So a lot of the pro shots are going to be in that range. One of the best ball strikers on tour, and he knows how to make birdies in bunches too. So he's had a really good season so far. He's just missing that one win. So I think this will probably be his best chance to take down a win down the stretch here. And also the best chance for him to reward me for playing him so much this year. So I hope Keegan has a good week. And then my last play is going to be Doug Gim at 61 to 1. So he's actually number one on the tour in proximity from 175 to 200 yards, ahead of only Colin Morikawa, who follows in second place there, but is known as the best iron player in the world. So the thing with Gim is his putter is what always holds him back, but he's gained strokes on the field putting in 2 of the last 3 events. So if he can be as lucky as Morikawa was this week and catch a really hot putter, I think he'll be in play this week too.
Okay, let's on to the Evian Championship. So we like to do a full card when we get a major for the LPGA event. So I'll quickly introduce this tournament. It's the 5th major for the LPGA Tour. They added as a major in 2013. It was a European Tour event. It's called the Masters, but LPGA brought it on, and then in 2013 it became a major. It's played in France at the Evian Resort Golf Club. It wasn't played last year due to COVID, so 2019, last year they played it. And our defending champ is Jin Young Ko. And Ryan, let's kind of go through our picks here fairly quickly. I'm going to let you go first for who you decide to pick for the Evian.
So first play I'm going to have is Ariya Jutanugarn. Just one of my favorite golfers on the LPGA Tour. I think she's one of the most complete golfers. Coming off the big win with her big sister there last week. So I like her chances to take down her. It'll be her 3rd major if she wins this week. Second play is going to be Lydia Ko, 29 to 1. We saw it a lot this year on the PGA Tour. It's been a throwback kind of season where a lot of the veterans are coming home and taking wins. She's already got one this year, and she's had a very good year overall anyway. So I think she's got a good shot here.
Was she 25 years old? You call her a veteran?
She is a veteran. I guess I should say she hasn't won in a long time.
Yeah.
Until this year. Then I'm going to take Jessica Korda at 36 to 1. I just think it's time for the big sister to take some of the limelight back. She's seen Nelly elevate herself to number 1 golfer on tour and took down the last major. And I don't know. I mean, we're both the oldest siblings, so we know that she's going out there and she wants to get a big win this weekend. So I like her chances. My 4th play is going to be Esther Heinzeleit. So I played her in the last 2 events and she teased me both times. She finished 4th in each of them. But I just like her game. She's young German, played well. She plays well on the other side of the pond. It's a course that's similar to those that she grew up on. So that's a big number for her, I think. And then my 5th play, and maybe the one I like the most, is Jennifer Kupcho at 81 to 1. She's coming in good form, 3 top 13 finishes in her last 4 events. She ranks 8th in greens and regulation. And like you said, it was last played here in 2019. She came 2nd here. So I really think that the bookmakers got this number wrong. I think she's got a real shot this weekend.
Okay, let's flip to my card. Same rule. Got the 5 units for the 35, so payout. So right off the hop, I have Lydia Ko as well. 2015 winner at the Evian. I don't know if you mentioned that. 6 top 10s this year, and also a win in 2021. So a good bounce back year for her. Brooke Henderson, Canadian, 34. kind of the same story as Lydia. She has a win this year, 5 top 10s. So good form this year. Look to see if she can get her second major. Jessica Korda, like you said, uh, her sister is kind of on fire, but Jessica Korda also has a win this year, 4 top 10s. So kind of the same theme for my top 3 plays here. People that have won this year, significant amount of top 10s who can, 2 of the 3 have won a major before. Charlie Hall, consistent golfer, always makes cuts, 2 top 20s in a row. Anna Norkis, the 2017 champ here, um, 2 top 10s in her last 5 finishes. And then to round out the card, I have 3 bombs here. I mean, I'm not gonna be honest, I don't know the tour as well as the PGA Tour, so it was harder finding some bombs. So quick little tidbits with Brittany Lincicome. She's an 8-time tour winner, back-to-back top 10, so good form, knows how to win. Allison Lee, her best ever major finish was 6th here at the Evian a few years ago. Top 30 in her last 7 straight starts, so some consistency heading in. And Julia Molinaro, at 300 to 1. She was third at the last major played. So I saw that and thought, why not at 300 to 1 to finish out my card for the Evian Championship. Ryan, you have some extra plays for us called the Ryan Bombs and Bonus. So let's quickly, in about 90 seconds, fly through your bonus plays here.
You got it. So just some long shots here. For the 3M, Sam Ryder at 101 to 1, just coming in good form. So I like that number. Same thing goes for Pat Perez, just one of those guys who runs hot and cold. So worth a gamble that he's going to run hot at 125 to 1. One I really like is Keith Mitchell at 200 to 1. I mean, I bet him at way shorter odds already this year. He hits the ball a long way. I think his game fits this place really well, and he's going to be a first round leader bet for me for sure. And then KH Lee at 176 to 1. So no secret, he likes these TPC courses. He's a TPC machine. So at that number, I'll be in on the party if that trend continues. And then just wanted to give some love to 2 other tournaments going on this weekend. So the Kazoo Open over in Wales, Connor Syme at 46 to 1. Love the number here for him. Just another guy I like to bet and hope it pays off. And then Cameron Young, 34 to 1 at the Price Cutter Championship and the Corn Ferry Tour. I just think this kid's one of the best young players in the game, and he's won twice already this year, back-to-back weeks. So I like that number for him, and I'll be playing those 2 guys this weekend.
Nice. Okay, so to wrap up, let's give your conclusion on the one and done. So what place did you finish on that short and major season, Pat Mayo one and done? I did not finish well. I did not even look. I know I'm somewhere in the 700 or 800. So I think you placed in the money.
Yeah, I did. I finished 60th, so I tripled my buy-in. So that's always a good thing. I had some good chances. Some guys let me down, but at the end of the day, DJ did fairly well for me last week. A lot of the guys I had ahead of me had Jordan Spieth, who took home a lot of money. So now I focus my one and done on our little side one and done with a couple of our buddies here. So I got a little bit of a lead in that one. So just trying to decide what I'm going to do. I think I don't want to spoil your pick, but I think you are going to pick the winner. So I'm just trying to get the guy who's going to place second place, and I'm deciding between Pat Reed, Bubba Watson, and Keegan Bradley. Leaning Patrick Reed right now.
Yeah. If Jeff and Jay are listening, they can send the picks in. Mine's locked, but I'm keeping it until I'll release the pick Wednesday.
Jay's
night.
Will be in Thursday morning.
Yeah. Well,
when you wake up, you'll see it.
Yeah.
Stewart Sink.
All right. Well, after a major week, probably a little less attention to the golf. So get the cards in. I'll be following along. I'm not sure if we'll do anything next week or not, with no real tournaments going on, just the Olympics. But
Xander.
Yeah, we'll see. The odds aren't great with such a little field and a stacked top.
I'm gonna play Sung Jae and hope for the best for him.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we'll either see you guys next week or the week after. Go Bucks.
Go Devin Booker.